Alright, it is March 1st update. Starting to warm up a little bit. We'll be back down to a high of 65 by next Saturday. I think it got up to 76 today, but the weather for February has again been cooler than I expected, and we did have more rain. The system has dealt with it real well. And before I forget, when you are putting water into these systems, don't walk away. You walk away and forget about it, and then you come out and there's water all over the ground and you end up with low nitrates. But other than that, pH is a little high from overfilling because I walked away. But the ammonia nitrites look good. Everything's doing really well. Everything is doing really, really well. Just the typical adding a little bit of chelated iron. The pinto beans are starting to come in. I'm getting some nice leaves on them, starting to grow up. And tomatoes. These tomatoes are very tasty, very robust. As you can see, they're kind of everywhere. More flowers coming in all the time. There's even flowers coming in back in areas where it gets virtually no direct sunlight. It's reaching out back towards this wall here, under the overhang. It's really just kicking butt. Getting harder and harder to put it in the frame. That's all you can see is the one tomato plant, but I can walk under it. It's let's see, about going on 3.5, 4 feet away from the bed to this tip here, and each one of these sections is 16 inches on center, so you're looking at, basically 17.5 inches from the edge to edge, and this is how far. So it's basically over 10 feet across the plant now. It's awesome. I love it. Not much to say about it. Flowers, flick them, and you're gonna get tomatoes. Just flick, 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 flick. And even if you come out day after day and flick the same ones over and over again, it can't hurt. But you saw, there's tomato. Ooh, I can see there's a torn up caterpillar leaf up there. That's so hard to get to some of this. Even some of the tomatoes, when I'm sitting inside, I can look out and see red tomatoes that I can't see out here. So I'm going to have to figure out a better way to be able to tend to this stuff. But in general, this just keeps going. The kale, you can see all of the marks from when we just clip off 4 or 5 leaves from each plant about once a week, and using that, and it just keeps growing out more and more. Sorry about that angle switch there. I took out one of the basil plants because this is more than enough for us here, one plant, and I put in an oregano. It's doubled its size in a week. And it's not getting any sun, so once our zenith changes, and then trim up some more of this tomato I'm sure they'll take off just like everything else. But that's pretty much it. You know, once everything is running and running well, you pretty much just have to come out and keep the bugs off of it. Which, now that it's warming up, I'm already, you know, seeing a couple of moths flying in here or there, so I'm gonna have to start spraying again. But that's just, you know, goes with the territory. The only other thing that I've been watching is these roots are just protruding up above the rock so much now that you can see they're almost blocking the outlet. And then all of these little boogers right here are snails. Now my idea on this is that as long as they're not clogging up the pipes, and wherever possible they do try and get out of the water a little bit, so I'm not too worried about it. But in the aquarium side of things, these snails tend to show up when there's plenty of food. And the concept that I'm going with right now is, as long as they're converting food, that means that they're creating ammonia. Then that ammonia is turning into nitrite and turning into nitrate. So as long as I don't see them destroying anything or eating the roots or the plants, I'm not going to do too much to get rid of them. Every now and then I'm having to come in here though, because they do alter the flow, and because they're getting on the side of the pump. So I can come in and basically pull a bunch of snails off the side of the pump, and then the flow is all back to normal. So one method I'm going to try to control that in here is throw a leaf of lettuce in there, leave it in there for a little while, come out, and there'll be a bunch of snails on it, and just discard them. So all in all, that's about it. Just termators. I saw one that is turning right, but it's just so hard. There. Let's see if we can dig through here. Find that thing. There it is. There's one that's starting to turn right now, and it'll only be a couple days before it's red. Now that after the first one was pulled off, once they start ripening, they ripen real fast. And very hardy, very sturdy, very robust tasting tomatoes. So, let's see if I can get a shot from way back here. I know on this video it's hard to tell, and maybe someday I'll have, my daughter or somebody stand next to it so you can really see how big this thing is, but it's ridiculous just how large it is. So anyways, thanks to all the new subscribers, thanks for the comments, and thanks for viewing it. I hope somebody, can use some of this information for their own system. There's a worm right there. Caterpillar. This little booger right there. This is this is not a one of the cabbage worms. This is a tomato worm. These buggers I have no sympathy for them. The fish have gotten very fat. The new food is working out really well. We can't see them with this light right now, but the fish are doing really well. The system is doing really well. So, thanks again for watching, and see you later.